What is going on, everybody? It is MJG Trades coming at you with a brand new video. As you can see by the title, we are going to be looking at the top 5 growth stocks for the month of November 2025. Some quick little things to get out of the way before we dive into this. The first one being, guys, I am a little bit tired right now. I did not get a whole lot of sleep, so if my energy level seems low, that is all it is. I promise you the energy levels will get back up in the next couple videos, but as I said, I am just a little bit tired right now. Also, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell if you guys want to be notified every time I post a video. It's super, super helpful for me. Also, feel free to leave a like. Feel free to comment down below. A couple other things. If you guys are interested and you are active on Twitter/X, my link is down below. Patreon, I have a Patreon as well. That is for, a lot of these names. What I will do in the Patreon is I will give you my take profit and stop loss levels. So if you do want to take profit and stop losses, feel free to head over there. I also will be doing write-ups on these earning reports. This is very important because how I am as a trader is I look for fundamentally strong companies that are at a technical inflection point. Those are the plays I go very big into. And the only way I change my thesis is if I see something change in an earnings report. So if you guys want all that information, head over to the Patreon where we'll be covering all that. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into our top 5 stocks for the month of November 2025. Starting out here at number 1, we have Root. So Root is a very interesting name. As you can see, we just slipped below the 200, but I'm not too concerned about this for a variety of reasons. Just looking at this chart, this stock underwent the growth stock purgatory. This happened to Palantir, Robinhood, so many other names have this happen. They IPO at sky-high valuations. They ultimately correct very, very deep, arguably, going to their fair value, and then they will sit and consolidate, forming a base for a very long time when the market waits to see, is this company going to continue growth? Are they going to continue improving operational efficiency? Can they continue, obviously to increase profitability? And then when the market starts seeing they can, this is when these stocks will get regraded, and these are some of the best opportunities in the market. So I don't want to spend too much time on any one name because I want to make this video, maybe like 8 to 10 minutes, but let's get into it. So looking at Root here, a couple of things that stand out to me is we are at this 0.382 extension, utilizing the base down here at 705 and our one value at the 182. This is a 382 extension on a pretty big scale. This isn't just like a small extension. This is one that has been formed over a very, very long time. As you can see, this area has acted as support for us numerous times. It acted as a bit of resistance over here when we were trying to break out. So this is a very, very key area. When you have a name like this that has fallen from 182, we know the fundamentals are strong. Chances are this will get bought up at this point, and we do have an upcoming earnings that is very, very important for the company. A couple other things I want to point out and how I am looking to play this name in the coming months. I have a core position, and I'm also looking to sell puts around the $80 strike. If I can acquire at the support area, I feel very comfortable with it. So that is ultimately how I'm playing Root. Now, when we just do a quick little look at a couple things, we are seeing a very nice MACD crossing at the support level. We are also seeing that the RSI is slowly starting to come back. And I don't know if you guys know this or if you've ever heard of this, but just as you would make trend lines for, price action, you can also make trend lines on different indicators. So on the RSI, we are in a bit of this, we're in this trend. Ultimately, it's looking to break out here on the RSI. So I personally believe it's going to happen. You just have to be a little patient. The reason why I love this company is when we look at on an annualized basis, we can see that, annually they were struggling for a bit, and then 2024 was their breakout year, going from 455 million in revenue all the way up to 1.18 billion in revenue while generating 30 million in positive net income. Now we can see that they are achieving profitability, and this is just, it's essential. I mean, when you can achieve profitability and you are a fast grower like this, people will often speculate, and this can send a stock much, much higher. Overall, though, that is where I'm going to leave it for Root. I think this is a fantastic opportunity for November and December. This stock is a 1.24 billion market cap, trading at a 16 priced earnings. It's very, very low, and we've seen insane growth on an annualized basis this past year. There's a lot of exciting things coming up for Root as well, but I want to keep talking about it for too long, so let's go ahead and dive into our next play. Next on our list, we have Zeta. Zeta is another play that I love. This has been seeing huge institutional interest. We are seeing huge volume coming in here as we look to begin this uptrend after this ABC down. Now, something I love about this name is we are respecting our 200-day SMA over here. Now, this company is currently trading at 4.28 billion market cap. We were doing $1 billion in revenue. We are seeing steady growth, very good growth, I should say, and we are seeing operational efficiency continually improve. We can note this by looking at the net income. We see the net income is severely improving as revenue is going up, which means the company has figured something out. Now, this company just partnered with AWS. They have that Amazon backing. That is huge for brand trust. So, I think this company could go high as a 8x price to sales, which is looking at a double up. This name ultimately, it hit $40 per share. I believe it is going to want to go ahead up and retest that, which is kind of where I have the fair value on it right now. But from a setup perspective, we are in this very nice uptrend. We are holding it very, very well. And like I said, this trend line is intact since April 2025. So I do suspect a very strong bounce here for us to go higher. Ultimately, though, you could set a take profit level up at 22, just depending on your confidence level in the play. But I think it's almost a given that we're going to go up there. This company should not be trading, I think, this cheap. And like I said, there's huge institutional interest coming in along with that AWS partnership. I think this company is just going to keep increasing their profitability, and it's going to become an absolute winner, in the next couple months. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Diving into the next name on our list, we have SoFi. This is for a little bit different of a reason. SoFi is breaking out. So the last two plays you saw, these were names that have fallen to support. I am looking for a big breakout here on SoFi. We since 2021, as I said earlier, actually, I want to show you guys this. You see how we were this basing. You have these, big run-ups near IPO. It comes down and bases, and it just waits and waits and waits until you can get to profitability. We are seeing volumes slowly but surely. We can see this average volume slowly increasing. Buyers are getting active. We are breaking out of an all-time high, and I think $40 is inevitable for SoFi. It's going to just take, like I said, it'll probably take a couple weeks to play out, but ultimately this name is going to hit $40 per share. This is an exceptional company. They are seeing insane amount of growth, and not only in terms of members, in terms of product launches. We're seeing net income just doing exactly what it needs to do, what I like to see out of a growth company. So please keep your eye on SoFi. This is a fantastic opportunity. The current PE is 52. I know it's high, but this name is kind of in a league of its own right now in a sense, kind of along the lines of Robinhood, but this company is truly an amazing company, and I believe it's going to probably go up to about 100 price to earnings before maybe we want to pull back a little bit. Coming in at next on the list, because I actually have one bonus play. I didn't even think to include it, but it's on the top of my head now that I'm going to show you after this. I'm just going to go ahead and load it up for us. This is another play I want you to keep on your watch list. We'll talk about it in a second. But next on our list, we have Futu Holdings. So Futu Holdings is this is an ADR. They're located over in Singapore, I want to say. And we are seeing that this company is trying very, very hard to break out of its all-time highs. Now, what I want you to realize is this is a 26 price to earnings company, $27 billion market cap. Now, this company, when you just look at the growth, I mean, this is clean, crisp growth. This is like what you see out of the blue chip companies. And this is what's happening to Futu. This is basically the Robinhood of China. There's another play, ticker symbol TIGR, Up Fintech Holdings. That's very similar to this. That is also incredibly undervalued. I think they're both great buys right now. And I ultimately believe this breakout is going to happen here within a month or so. And when it does, when we do get this big breakout, ultimately, I would suspect that we can at least target $285 per share. This is going to insinuate a roughly a 38% growth. If we look at our current PE at, what are we at, 26 times 0.4 plus 10.4. This is ultimately what 30.4 is going to be our new PE on a 40% increase, or 36 is going to be our new PE. Sorry, guys, I told you I was a little tired. 36 would be the updated PE at that level, and I think that's a very fair price to earnings for this company. Even despite the China risk, this is the biggest name over there. They are basically doing what Robinhood's doing, and they are growing exponentially. Just a great stock to own. It's a great way to get exposure to China tech, and I think a lot of people are fixated on the Alibabas, the JDs, Baidu's. They're great companies, but these names are growing even faster. I think there's a lot more potential in this sector. All right, the next one I want to talk about, my favorite play, is Oscar Health. This has been a name that I absolutely love. We are just waiting to see what is going to happen with the subsidies. Something is going to give here. There's going to at least be a partial extension. You cannot just have that many people getting off healthcare at one time with no backup plan. Subsidies will be getting extended. And when they do, you are going to be seeing what I suspect is going to be roughly a third. I honestly, so this is going to sound crazy, but this is my prediction. When these ACA subsidies get announced, you're going to see a break, probably a 30% to 40% move in a day that should take us out of this disgustingly long resistance zone that we have been facing for so long. And when it does, just note the sky's the limit for Oscar Health. When, you're looking instantly, this is going to run quick to 31. And then ultimately where I have this name going is at least to $53 per share. Now, I suspect this to happen over the course of the next 3 to 4 months. I do expect the main breakout to happen, within the next month or so once the government reopens and they can negotiate this. But this is a fantastic play. Fundamentally, it's valued at $4.4 billion. When you look at the revenue and net income, the operational efficiency here, everything is kind of coming in line for them. They are truthfully the most innovative company in the U.S. health insurance space. They're getting huge into ICHRA. There's so much growth in the ICHRA space right now. A lot of companies are turning to it. And not to mention, this company is co-founded by Josh Kushner, Jared Kushner's brother, who is the son-in-law of Donald Trump. So just having that connection is never a bad thing. So Oscar is my number one play to watch for the next month. Now, the bonus play, this is a very, very strong play. This is going to be DraftKings. We are currently, people are getting a bit cautious with DraftKings because of the prediction markets, okay? And it's fair. But I want you to understand that DraftKings has been building a very, very strong and loyal community. I use DraftKings. It's the only book I ever use. Every person I know that has used DraftKings has stuck to DraftKings. And a lot of the times you kind of want to see what's happening in the real world with people how are people using it, and you can get a lot of great investments from that. Ultimately, when we look at the fundamentals too on DraftKings, we are seeing very, very strong top line growth. We are seeing the margins start to slowly improve, and we are seeing that Q2 was our first quarter of positive net income. But it's very odd because the stock price just from that point has shattered and come down quite a bit. Now we are approaching a major, major technical support area here, and I love this as a buy. Ultimately, I think you're gonna get a big spring off this to at least come up and test the $37 area. That is just for the very short term. That's going to give you about at least a 30% return in the short term. And then ultimately, I think it is going to pop out. And I think they are going to continue this big, big growth trend. And they are going to potentially, over the next year, hit somewhere about $67 per share. So this is another name that, like I said, I didn't include it initially, but this is a great name to watch out for. With that being said, guys, those are all the stocks I want you to watch, all the growth stocks that I am watching for the month of November. These are my favorite plays in the market right now. Once again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new, feel free to like it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video and hit that bell button. Also, like I said, if you guys want write-ups on all these names, earnings reports, take profit, stop loss levels, head over to the Patreon. I'm going to be having a write-up on all that a little bit later on. But with that being said, that is all I have for you. We will see you guys in the next one.